I see what, chaps and chapettes, Game Chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I dare say we are now presenting to you the latest gaming news, my word, on a number of points. And indeed, it seems that firstly, we are talking about a Nintendo subject here, specifically regarding their approach to the old franchises, how they work with them, and also everyone's favourite red-hatted plumber.
We most certainly are, old chap, yes indeed. Now, of course, we know a lot of you out there who watch our videos on Nintendo fans, etc. And of course, so this will be rather important to you. Now, Nintendo have been chatting, as Game Chap just said, regarding their old franchises. Now, a chap named Bill Trinan has made it clear now that what teams do, quote, when working on a new game, even if it's an existing series, is to start out fresh and figure out what the focus will be this time. Now, you might think, well, hang on, I thought shouldn't we have a new version of the game, Mario or Metroid, etc., whatever, or every year? But he says we don't always put out a new version of an existing series on an annual basis, and then try to suggest there's always a big gap, saying like Smash Brothers had 7 years, for example.
So this is quite interesting, old boy.
Well, it is.
I think perhaps he's drawing a comparison here between the Nintendo approach, which, as he has said, is to try to breathe new life into the series every time it has a release.
Yes.
And then he's comparing that with Call of Duty and that sort of thing, which is every single year in Assassin's Creed, there's a new game, and it's very, very much along the same sort of lines. But he's saying the Nintendo approach is to say, right, we've got Mario here, now how can we make Mario do something new? For example, Super Mario Galaxy had planetoids. How can we make, for example, our character Donkey Kong do something new? Well, this time it's set on a tropical freeze island with these strange Viking things, so it's different, you see. So there's always something different to the story, a different mechanic, a unique selling point for the game to get customers to buy. Now, there's a couple of points there, old boy. Firstly, of course, this ensures we have high-quality games from Nintendo, and they're always quite innovative, and there's new ideas. However, it does mean that as fans, we tend to suffer from a lack of content and perhaps long lulls in between games. For example, Metroid, as you say, and F-Zero, these are games that haven't had games for many years.
Well, most certainly, that's a good point that you've brought up there, because obviously the fans out there want to see fresh things regularly. Now, he went on then to say, I just said about the Smash Brothers thing, but then he went on to say that Mario games release more frequently, but we don't have a new Mario game this year. So it's not an annual event. And as you quite rightly pointed out, it would seem that they're trying to say, look, yes, we know Call of Duty comes out every year. We know Assassin's Creed comes out every year. We know that a lot of other titles come out every year. But we're not going to go that way.
We're Nintendo, and so we do what we want.
So exactly. So if you think you're getting a Nintendo, a Mario, this year, a Mario game, as it were, we're not going to do it.
That's right. Now, it seems indeed Mr. Trinan has therefore confirmed, videos, there will be no Mario main series game this year. And this, of course, will come as a surprise to many people, because the last few years running, we have seen more or less an annual Mario game.
We have.
In fact, of course, the new Super Mario Bros. Series was becoming very much chock full of titles. But it seems Nintendo have taken a step back now and said, yes, we've used this series a lot recently. They really have produced a lot of what could be termed main series Mario games. And perhaps for some people, it was becoming a little bit sameish.
Well, exactly. I think we said this on one of our other videos. Yes, indeed. Are those sort of walkthroughs of Mario different? They tried 2Ds and 3Ds. Are they getting a bit sameish? And I think rather than them, Nintendo saying, "Well, look, we're just trying to get the best game we can and think about it," and so it's going to take more time, because I don't see some of the other gaming studios, for example, Assassin's Creed, having too much problem putting very, very good content out on a yearly basis.
Right.
See, I think, just if I can just say this.
Yes.
That they may be more concerned, as we just said, that they don't want the fans to start thinking Mario is getting a bit stale.
A bit stale, exactly. You have to look at the history of Mario games. You had the original Super Mario Bros., of course, which was very much a standard platforming game of Mario, which is what it was in those days. Then the sequel had a different spin on the idea, with the turnips and the Shy Guys and 4 players in the game. Then the third game introduced the map system with a new idea there. Super Mario World was, of course, on the SNES with new graphics. Mario 64 was revolutionary in its own right.
Yes.
Mario Sunshine was again a spin with the water pack. Mario Galaxy was another spin. But recently, we've started to see a few Mario games where it hasn't been a spin. It's just been New Super Mario Bros. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, and etc. and so on and so forth. A bit sort of annual sort of entry fashion. A bit like we've seen with Call of Duty, where it's just another shooting game. Assassin's Creed, it's another historically based assassination game, etc. and so forth. But it seems Mr. Trinan is saying here that no, Nintendo want to very much stick to the format formula of only introducing something new if they are going to introduce a game in any given series.
Most certainly, yes indeed. So as I said there, not wanting the thing to go stale. Now,
that's right, very important there.
Well, yeah, and they may have had indications that it is, we don't know. Now, when he says the team focus on how they can recreate the gameplay experience or introduce new ideas to those games, which is what they did with the NES Remix, for example, he says.
Yes.
So they're trying to suggest now that you're not going to, well, not trying to suggest, they're saying you're not going to get a Mario game this year, and then they're giving a nice little excuse as to why. But at the end of the game, you're not getting one.
It's one of the guiding principles of the Nintendo company, which Mr. Iwata himself told us about in a Nintendo Direct a few years ago, which is Dokusho, as they call it in Japanese, which means like innovation, you'll see, always bring in these new ideas for the different games they produce. But of course it seems recently, as I say, there's been a bit of lack of Dokusho, there's not so much innovation going on in the Mario series, and perhaps now there's no room in the market for another standard Mario platform game, because people might say, well, we've already seen this, we've already done all that, you'll say.
Well, most certainly, yes indeed, but I'm not going to give them too much leeway on the innovation thing there. They're a large company, they've got all the money and all the staff, and there's no
Haven't
doubt...
they all, old chap?
Well, yes, they have, and there's no doubt about it at all that they should have the talent there to come up with some good ideas. I mean, certainly some of these other things are as well. I think perhaps it could also be, maybe, that they're just a little bit concerned that they don't want to flood too much Mario out there. We have had quite a few Mario games
exactly,
in the last couple of years,
the thing.
and they're jolly well scared that the people will just get fed up with Mario.
That's right, indeed, old boy. So, just putting aside Mario for the moment, with the question mark hanging over his head there, perhaps we'll see more from him in 2016, but
yes.
For now we can say that another rather fan-loved developer has teased they may be updating their website. Now, this is a mysterious bunch, aren't they, old chap?
Well, they must certainly, yes indeed.
Who are we talking about here?
Well, we're talking about, of course, Retro Studios.
Oh, yes.
And we all know what Retro Studios get involved in.
That's right, indeed. Two very, very popular fan series, and of course they're most known for the Metroid series, which has a rather large cult following.
Exactly, so we had a little teaser, we're going to be updating our website, sort of thing. Well, wouldn't it be wonderful if on the cards this year was the Metroid game?
Well, currently Retro's website is very much outdated, a bit sort of 2001 looking. It's got some very old web design on there, so perhaps they mean, well, we're just going to update the web design, or maybe they might be giving us some sort of clue that Samus may be in the works, or who knows, it could just be another DK game, I don't know.
Well, it could be. I don't think they'll go for another DK game, because we just had one of those last year, which was, well done, but rather sameish, I think.
A bit stale, I think, yes.
It
was fun, though, I have to say.
Exactly, so I think they need to be very, very careful with another DK game, but certainly, yes, Metroid could be there. It's hotly, it's sought after by the fans, and of course they didn't get one last year, thought they would. At E3, I think people expected it to be announced, or at least something, and no one said anything about it.
That's right.
So, I think there's a good chance this year. It could be a little sign that we've got something in the pipeline there.
And certainly in the last decade or so, Retro have made the most popular Metroid games, of course, the Metroid Prime series, because Other M just was not received very well by the fans.
No, it wasn't. No, they didn't like that very much. They didn't, I think, like the 2D bit that much, and they complained a bit about Samus being scared and Ridley, etc. and so forth.
Yes, that's right.
Didn't go down too well, so I think they brushed that one under the carpet, and as I've said before on previous videos, there's no doubt about it that when they do the next Metroid game, they are up against things similarly like, for example, Halo things. They're going to have to produce something out the bag. Cartoon graphics and sort of 2D things aren't going to work for Metroid.
That's right. So, I mean, if just hypothetically Retro were, right now, as we are speaking, if just hypothetically they were working on Metroid Prime 4, for example, what sort of features do you think that game would have to see in order to be competitive in the modern market?
Most certainly, yes. Let us know what you think. I mean, yes, indeed, interesting point.
I think perhaps a multiplayer element with online shooting sort of mode would be an essential feature, because that is part of the thing that's made Halo so popular.
Well, it's a good idea, yes.
And you've got Destiny, another very popular futuristic shooting game, so I think there's really an option there where they could launch Samus into that sort of environment.
It's a good point there, most certainly is indeed.
Now, do we have something about glitches in Super Smash Bros., old chap?
Well, Super Smash Bros., yes indeed. Apparently there's a wonderful glitch in Super Smash Bros. Involving Pac-Man.
That's right, it is a glitch, old boy, as you say, and what this glitch is, it's a bit of a throwback to the old days of the Luigi ladder and that sort of thing, if you're familiar with the term. What it means is that basically a two-man team of Pac-Men in Four Glories 2 vs 2 mode can stall the match indefinitely by using their up B special move, the bouncy trampoline, over and over again. If they just bounce off each other's trampolines and keep going higher and higher and higher and higher into the sky, they can make a ladder to the heavens and never be touched by the enemy. Therefore, if they can land a couple of hits or even no hits at all, they can just stall the match until sudden death mode, and then repeat the glitch to avoid the bombs and watch and just laugh, basically, as their foes are helplessly sent off to the blast zone.
Aha! So is this a 3DS or a Wii U glitch?
Well, it's a Wii U one, but if 3DS has a similar mode, I'm sure it may apply to that as well. But primarily, we are looking at the Wii U version here, of course the most relevant version, and indeed, as I say, perhaps a bit of a throwback to the old days of media there, with the Luigi ladder, where you could do a similar thing with the up B move, just, up being over and over again, off into the heavens like that.
Well, most certainly interesting little glitch there, so watch out for that one.
Yes, if you see teams of 2 Pac-Men online, be careful about fighting them. You might just want to report them after the match, you know.
Ah, well, maybe, yes, I suppose. Now, also, everyone likes wallpapers. Well, don't they?
Well, I think so.
Well, I suppose so. Well, you see, apparently in Japan, I think you can only get it there, I think, or on the Japanese platform, is a rather interesting little wallpaper which we thought you'd like to have a look at.
This is official Nintendo for 2015 indeed, Fails. As you can see, it's a rather charming Hanafuda-inspired, Mario scenic wallpaper in very much traditional Japanese artwork style. I think they call it woodblock or something like that.
Well, it looks nezzy, doesn't it?
It's quite nezzy. You've got different scenes of Mario looking over Mount Fuji, I think there. You've got Yoshi, you've got Rosalina, retro Mario-type designs there. That's his old classic look, of course, not his modern look. It's quite a charming and retro Nintendo feel, which very much represents how Nintendo as a company are pitching themselves. So if Nintendo as a company interests you and you like Mario and retro things, this may be a wallpaper for your desktop, I say.
Or if you've got a Japanese console, I suppose.
But you'll need a Japanese console and account. You'll have to sign in and claim your wallpaper, or if you're clever, you might just be able to find it online somewhere. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Do you think you really could?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a bit risky, old chap. But we do have a Japanese 3DS, so don't worry about that. We're all above board over here, you know.
Of course we are.
Yes, indeed, Valios.
Now then.
Now that, of course, is our roundup of the Nintendo news, but there's more, you know.
We've got a little bit, yes, indeed.
The gaming news doesn't stop there. Now, of course, many of you out there will be interested in a rather certain other popular game known as Minecraft, you know.
Most certainly, yes, indeed. Minecraft, yes, indeed. Now, of course, we know loads of you obviously out there are Minecraft fans and everything because you've been watching us for years. But anyway, Minecraft name change tweet.
Minecraft name change tweet?
Minecraft, they've let a little secret out and said, or a little tease as it were, regarding the name change which we covered the other day.
I see. Indeed, and it has been a tweet. Most certainly on social media they have posted a small teasing image showing the name change functionality, you know.
We've got a picture of that, haven't we?
I think we have. It's just so tiny, as you can see there.
It is.
But KG, A key, and you can change your name there with that handy dandy link.
Rather handy dandy. So they were all about changing of the names, which is rather interesting because you haven't been able to do that up to this point, I don't believe.
So if your name is currently XXX Undead Bunny Slayer Kiss XXX.com, you can actually change that, or we'll be able to very soon, to something perhaps more modern and suitable.
Yes, indeed, yes. You just take the bunny bit out.
Bunny, that's right. I think so. So there you are. You'll be able to change your name soon, and also, if there are any PlayStation fans indeed on the planet anymore, I think there are somewhere, old chap.
Yes,
I heard it's quite popular, actually, PlayStation.
Well, we played it yesterday, didn't we?
I think so. PlayStation Now. Now, that is a service that has been in existence for quite some time, which basically allows you to stream PS3 games, because as you know, unlike Nintendo, Sony don't actually allow you to have backward compatibility on the console.
No, they don't, which is a bit off,
It's a bit naughty, really.
It's very bad.
It's a bit naughty. You can't put PS3 discs into the PS4. It just spits them back out and says, no, thank you.
Yes, thanks very much.
I don't know why that is, old boy. I suspect it is a marketing move, actually. But in any case, your console being thusly hamstrung, you can go and pay now $20 per month to access PlayStation Now, which is a service that allows you to, yes, stream PS3 games from the remote servers of Sony.
Right, okay, so now we've got to pay $20 a month.
Yes.
To stream PS3 games.
That's right. You see, formerly you could rent them for a price, but now you can cough up $20 in any given month for unlimited access to the streaming library. That means you won't actually download the games, but you'll play them remotely, rather like renting them, I suppose, in a modern sense.
So is this a good or bad thing, then?
Well, it depends what you think is good or bad. I mean, it's perhaps a tad pricey, old chap.
Well, I suppose if you're streaming 500 games a month, it's a jolly good deal, perhaps, but if you're only streaming one, it's not very much good idea, is it?
Well, the snag currently is there's only 100 games available on the platform, and if you are after just 1 or 2 games, it may be cheaper to go out and buy them individually.
Yeah, so money, money, money!
Money, money, but indeed perhaps some people may find the service to be of use, and I understand some fans have already been mouthing a bit of discontent towards it, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes down in the community in general.
Most certainly.
Well, indeed they are, videos. Rather interesting news from Nintendo, Minecraft, and PlayStation. That's a bumper crop, you'll know.
Well, it is. No Mario, possible Metroid, who knows? Wallpapers, glitches, name tweet changes, things in Minecraft, and all sorts of PlayStation charging loads of money.
Well, yes, thank you, buddy. Succinctly put, I say, 2015 is
It's a good roundup, wasn't it?
for a rather interesting start, I say.
Most certainly is a good start there, and we'll keep you updated with any news we can possibly find or what's going on in the future.
Indeed, you stay tuned for more gaming news, videos. This has been Game Chairman Birdie, I say. We look forward to see you again. Join us then, if you
Yes.
Until then.